Hey everybody, it's Slim. I just wanted to let y'all know that we are having a little bit of sound issues. So for these next episodes, the Black History episodes, we just ask that you please bear with us. We're trying to do our best to get through and fix these sound issues while actually recording remotely. So, like I said, please just bear with us. Thanks for listening.
Hey everybody, want to welcome you back to I Told My Wife I'm Paying Bills. I'm Slim,
And I'm Black, back once again.
and we are back with another one. And this is going to be our special Black History Month episode. Last year, if y'all remember, we did our favorite. Was it comic book characters or just black characters in general? I remember it was mostly comic book characters.
Yeah, it was mostly comic book.
I was trying to remember
I
if we
think
had
we
any
named
video games.
I think we named some characters off games.
Okay,
You
yeah.
know, as honorable mentions and stuff like that.
Yeah. Um, but today we decided to go just a little bit different for this one, because we wanted to do we we we, we didn't want to just dive back into video game characters or comic book characters. Um, we wanted to actually do like actual black actors and actresses. Uh, you know, a lot of the movies that we talk about have some amazing actors and actresses in them, and we
Mm.
just wanted to kind of honor them for Black History Month. And we just kind of discussed it, and we kind of picked our personal faves. And these aren't necessarily all like well, all of mine are big name actors and actresses. However, these aren't like all of the top, all the people that you would expect people to guess either. Because I think I have like one or two that aren't like really would be on the top of somebody's list right away. You know.
Yeah.
Um. So you got your picks ready, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hey, before we start too. So what you been up to? Like playing? What you been playing on?
Well, like like the past podcast, man. You know, Starfield takes a lot of my time. Um, but I am working on different endings for Cyberpunk 2077.
Mm-hmm.
I bought the Phantom Liberty expansion, so I'm trying to figure out how many endings I can get out of that. I think it's like 2 or 3 from the Phantom Liberty. So uh, that and a little bit of other games here and there. I play a lot of, believe it or not, uh, side scrolling beat 'em ups are like a thing for me. And
Mm-hmm.
you see me on Streets of Rage 4 a lot because I just can't help it. I try to beat the survival. I try to get to different levels on survival mode. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So
yeah.
it's so funny. I have not touched that game for years, and I've only played it on the Genesis. So I haven't
Mm.
even tried to do it on the Xbox, and I see it. And I just haven't tried. So, but
Yeah,
yeah.
It's new school. Streets of Rage 4 is new school, so it's got some of the old characters from the old Streets of Rage
Mm-hmm.
games. You know, you got the Axel, you got but you got the new Axel from Streets of Rage 4 and the new Blaze and the new Adam Hunter and all that good stuff. So you
Okay.
know, it's a pretty cool game. I like it.
Word. Yeah, I need to actually check that out. But I got some other games. One of the corrections I need to make a correction from last podcast. I said two things that was definitively wrong. I should say. Well, as soon as I said them, some of the stuff in my head, I was like, I should have probably checked on that before I actually said that. Because one thing I got wrong is God of War Ragnarok.
Mhm.
I actually was able to find out that it actually is on the PS4.
Yeah.
So I went and bought it.
Mhm.
I said it was only on the PS5, whatever, but I ended up finding out it was on the PS4. So I went ahead and bought a copy of it, and I'm going to start that hopefully tomorrow. Um, as I have some other things to do because I've actually started watching The Brother's Son. Have you heard of that on Netflix? The Brother's Son.
No, the
Man,
brothers on there.
it's like I don't know if it's the John Wick director. I need to look it up and see. But man, they like the fight scenes in that are just ridiculous. They are so dope.
Mm.
Like you would enjoy that, and it's really good. It's really if you like John Wick, you'll like these this show. It's a
Oh
new
yeah,
show on Netflix. Yeah.
Huge John Wick fan. Seen all 4 of them.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, you should definitely check it out. So I've been watching that, but I need to get into God of War Ragnarok. But something else that I actually was wrong about, and it's so funny because as soon as we finished recording, like when we were talking about it, I was like, I think that is wrong. And then as soon as we finished recording, while I was editing, I had the TV on, and in the background, right after the correction was made, um, I had actually said Adventure was the game where you're swinging across like pits with crocodiles and stuff like that. That's not Adventure. That's Pitfall. That's the old Atari game.
Pitfall. Oh, I
Yeah.
remember that game.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Adventure is the one where you're like in a room and you're going to different rooms and it's like, the dots and stuff like that. And the reason why, like I said, I remember and like I was talking about it and I was like, no, that can't be right. I thought it was called something else in my head. And sure enough, after we finished and I was editing, on the TV was a movie called Ready Player One. And at Ready Player One, one of the final games that they have to play is Adventure. And I was like, see, I knew I was wrong. I was like, man, so I was like, yeah, I got to get that right, and I got to correct myself for this one. So, yes, if you heard me, and actually, too, Chris ended up texting me later on. So, props to Chris, because he texted me. He's like, yeah, just a heads up, because you got the two games confused. I was like, yeah, and I just figured out, right, and I was like, I had a correction, but I put the correction in the post, and I said, I had a couple of facts wrong, but, either way, though, those are the two major things that I said that I wanted to make sure was correct. So, yeah. But back to Black History Month, and us talking about our favorite actors and actresses. So, let me give you a little bit of background on my picks before we start. But I'm gonna let you do your picks first. But like I said before, I chose a couple of people that I really enjoy their work, and they're not going to be on the top of most people's list. It's not going to be like Denzel and Oprah and stuff like that. But they're up there and they're very well known celebrities. So, I some of these people I can just watch their movies. Like I'll put their movie on and it can be in the background and I can quote some of their movies. And there's all these other people who've done like historical, figures. So that's another thing. So, when I talk about my picks, I'm going to give you some of their other movies that may be big, but not that big or somewhat, you know what I'm saying? So either way. But let's get to your picks. So give me a little background on what made you choose your picks.
Well, most of my picks are from actual old school movies, and one of my picks is actually from a recently departed legend in my mind as far as Black history actors. So that's where my picks came from.
Yeah, we probably got a crossover.
Yeah, we probably do because I know you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So that most of my picks are from movies that were just so inspiring to me, so funny to me. Just these actors and actresses, they played a huge part in my life as far as just when times were bad, man, you would watch them act and you would see them on screen and it would just brighten up your day, man. Or they would say things that'll get you thinking, and it's just a movie, but sometimes they throw out points in the movie, where you're like, oh man, I never thought about it that way. And one of the actors, give an example, one of the actors I'm going to mention, I'm going to tell you about a scenario that he said in the movie that really had me thinking, and I'm like, it's just, I think it's awesome, man. These actors and actresses, they're just awesome folks, and that's just a small list that we have. There's plenty more out there.
Yeah. Like I could go into some of my like lesser known actors that are like like in really small roles and stuff like that. But I think I'm not going to. We might have to do that for our next year. Next year we'll mix actors and video game characters or something. I don't know, so we'll see.
Right.
But go ahead and start with your first pick.
Okay, so my first pick I have, and it's not on the rating list or anything. It's just a list. So my first pick is Eddie Murphy.
Oh, I almost picked him. Because we grew up watching so much of his things. But go ahead. Sorry, go
Yeah.
ahead.
but yeah, you get why you get where I'm going with him.
Yeah.
So Eddie Murphy, there's so many movies, from back in the day, and and we're talking about Beverly Hills Cop 1, and 2. 3 I didn't really like, but that was later on in his career. But Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2, oh man, there's so many. A lot. One movie he has is The Golden Child that a lot of people probably don't remember, but that
I
movie was
love that.
funny to me too. That movie was too funny to me.
The part, like, just the little stuff, man. When he did that, like every kid that around our age was quoting that. I want the knife, please.
Man, you almost made me spit out my drink.
Man,
when you did that, dude. I was like, man, this is crazy. Yeah, Trading Places. I mean, I could go on and on, man. He had the one with Nick Nolte. What was it?
48 Hours.
48 Hours. Yeah,
yep.
48 Hours. So yeah, I mean, it was just so many good movies he had, man.
And that's not even like all of his movies that he does where he with the prosthetics.
And here's the thing, I liked him before he even started making when he was big in Hollywood, because remember he was on Saturday Night Live,
of course,
and when he played Buckwheat.
Oh man, okay. And Mr. Robinson, every year for Christmas and Thanksgiving, SNL does their Christmas and Thanksgiving episode, and every year Eddie Murphy's Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood is in that, and it is hilarious. I love seeing that, and I was so happy to see him on the 40th, I think it was the 40th anniversary episode or whatever, and then he came back and hosted himself, whatever, So yeah, Eddie Murphy, classic, and his comedy specials. Oh my gosh, he was just so hilarious, and it's so funny that I didn't realize how funny his brother was until later on, because of the Chappelle Show.
Dave Chappelle Show, yep.
But hearing these stories about Eddie made it even better and funnier, man. And I wanted to see that new movie. I just didn't. The Christmas movie he had come out. I think it was Candy Cane Lane or something like that.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was on Prime Video, and I meant to watch it during the holidays, and I just never did. I really wanted to see it. A lot of people said it was good. They was like it was a really good, cute movie and everything. But I didn't get a chance to check that out, and I really wanted to though. But yeah, Eddie Murphy was such a good pick. He was a really, really good pick. So, man.
Yeah, he was the first one on my list. Like I said, it's not rated, but he's the first guy I thought about, man. I was like, man, I gotta put Eddie up here.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna do the same thing. Mine is not in any specific order. And I just remembered another two actors, and one of them, another person, is a person who just passed away recently. So I'm going to actually start with this one. I was going to put him in honorable mention. However, he's one of those actors that you see him in everything, and you know his voice, you know his face, and I can't put him on honorable mention because he's like one of those. Oh, I know that guy.
Yeah.
So his name is Lance Reddick. Lance Reddick. And we also know him not just from a lot of the video games that he was in. I mean, sorry, not a lot of the movies and TV shows he was in, but a lot of the video games as well. He played in he actually had a voice role in Horizon Zero Dawn, Quantum Break, Forbidden West. But you probably know him as Commander Zavala in Destiny.
Yep.
So but he was also on the Netflix Resident Evil series. Man, that is wild. That is so wild. And see that I didn't ever saw that. First time I remember seeing him was in Oz. And he played a cop that was undercover in the jail, and he like had an accent or something like that. And I hope I'm not getting this wrong because I believe it was him. He had an accent, and the whole time he had the accent, he was faking the accent the whole time. And then one time he got high and his accent dropped, and somebody heard him. They was like, "Yo, what happened to your accent?" He was like, "What are you talking about?"
Mm.
So that was crazy. But you know, he did so many different movies. Some of the ones that I remember him in, oh, White House Down, so good. Old
Oh yeah.
Boy, wow, he was in Old Boy. I don't remember him in Old Boy. That's crazy. Um, but we're gonna go to one of your favorite movies, John Wick.
Oh yeah.
He
Yeah.
plays Carmen
Yeah.
in John Wick, and
Yep.
man,
He was actually and not just that, he was actually in. Well, you mentioned the game because he was in Quantum Break.
mhm,
And I played and beat that game.
yeah,
Because that game is time based. And I was like, hey, isn't that? I was like, man, this guy. You can just tell, man. That guy. His voice is just unmistakable. It's him.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
I bought that game and I went to play it, and I never played it past a certain amount. Just because I just couldn't get into it for some reason. I don't know why.
mm.
I really don't. So I really should have. But
I had to push myself through it.
yeah, you did. Okay, so
But
it was
it's
one of
it's,
those
it's
that.
it's it's very short though. Believe it or not, it's not
Uh-huh.
that long.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, I kind of wish I had played it. Maybe I'll probably go ahead and just download it from and see if it's on Game Pass. Maybe if it's
It's
not
on
on
Game
Game,
Pass.
it is okay. I might
Mm.
download it and play it. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. But look, he was on all these different ones. Angel Has Fallen. And just so many different television and movies. New York Undercover. I don't even remember him from New York Undercover. See, that's so
He was
funny.
he was in New York Undercover.
He was in New
See,
York
I didn't even
Undercover.
know
It
that.
was just one episode, but still.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah. He did, of course, he did Law and Order. He did Law and Order,
Mm.
reoccurring. You know, and then of course, he was on The Wire. A lot of people probably remember him from The Wire. You know,
Mm.
so there was just so many different, like well-known CSI, Numbers, Lost, Fringe. These are all things that a lot of people love these shows, and he was
Yeah.
just in there. And like I said, most people will remember his voice over his face, but putting them two together,
Mm.
he actually was such a good actor, that
Yeah.
you can't deny his skill. And he did, unfortunately, he passed away last March 17th at age 60. So that was really sad. I was really sad to hear that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
man, dude played Papa Legba in American Horror Story. Coven, man, come on, that was
Which one? Which episode?
Coven. That's the one with the witches. And actually,
See, I never thought. I gotta go back and watch because I've seen the first three American Horror Stories, like the hotel one. You remember the hotel one with the vampires and
yep,
stuff?
mhm,
That one. I saw the first one, the carnival one.
yeah, yeah,
Where yeah. I didn't know. I had no idea he was in there. He was in Coven. I gotta go back and watch that.
yeah. He was, man. He was in Coven. And he played a couple of, he played Papa Legba in two things actually. So, but man, he was a good Papa Legba. I remember him. Wow, he actually played in Legend of Vox Machina. Nice,
Hmm.
Invincible. He was Invincible. Have you haven't seen Invincible yet? Have you?
No.
Oh
Mm-mm.
man. Oh yeah, you gotta see it. It was actually good. Oh man. And he's in Percy Jackson's. Wow. That's see, yeah, man, yeah. I gotta give it up to him. He's got so many credits to his name that, like I said, to lift him off, yeah, that would have been a disservice for him being one of my favorite actors. So
Mm.
yeah. So what's your second pick?
My second pick is the extremely beautiful, very, very talented Miss Holly Berry.
Yeah, okay,
Mhm.
okay.
And Holly Berry, think the first movie she played, and I actually paid attention to how good she was as far as her acting, was a negative role she played in I believe it was Spike Lee movie. It was think it was
I'm trying
you
to.
know the one with another guy that played in his movie. What was the name of that
Jungle
movie?
Fever.
Jungle Fever.
Jungle
Yeah,
Fever.
she played as a crackhead,
Yep.
and I know the backstory towards how she played that role so good. It's a negative role, but the way she played it, it was unbelievable what she did. She had never actually seen a crackhead, you know, so she went somewhere where crackheads were and watched how they, were, how how they lived their life and stuff like that, and that's how she was able to kind of develop that, you know, I said she based out, all she did was watch how they lived their life, and she was able to reenact that on screen. I said that's just something,
That's actually really good skill.
That's skill right there, man. Like I said, it was a negative role, but any role, whether it be negative or positive, man, you play it well, and you just known for it, and that's just one role. That's just one role. Then she played. She did a couple of roles. I seen her in Last Boy Scout. She played as the. She plays as the. She had a small role in that movie. She played sort of like a like a stripper, but was trying to get her man back. The Damon Wayans, her man back. The his job in the. That was the name of the actual league. It was a football league in that movie, and she tried to give him his job back by bribing this big dude in the game, and she ended up getting killed. But she had that role. She played a pretty good role in that. But I think the one of her best roles was Catwoman.
Yeah. Okay, so a little background information that is funny about Catwoman that Chris brings up a lot to a lot of people. This is hilarious. So, and I'm sorry for being the one to tell you this. A lot of the scenes that you see her doing in the cat suit is not her. And I'm sorry to tell you, like if it's not a close up, no, that's all good. That's all good. It's all good, but because that actually is deserved because I probably had the same thing the first time he told me. So I'm gonna look this up to be sure. However, I was told that in the cat suit for like a lot of the stunts, it was actually a man.
No way.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do some research on that.
A dude?
Yeah, that's what Chris tells me. So we gonna find out for sure. We're gonna see that. But yeah, keep going and talking about the Catwoman.
Well, you know what? I'm just gonna skip Catwoman. I'm gonna skip Catwoman right now.
Right.
I'm going to some of her movies. That just put a whole dark cloud over that Catwoman movie.
Yeah.
But
it was funny, man. Like I said, it was like hearing about it the first time. I was like, no, that can't be right. So
yeah. That just, oh my god, that just soured on me real quick.
yeah.
But anyways, she was in Boomerang, and she played a powerful role in that movie as well, in my opinion, because she fell in love with Marcus when Marcus was a player, but she fell in love with him and taught him how to love women the way they're supposed to be loved. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was a pretty positive role for her right there. Very positive woman. I would have to say that she also played in Swordfish. Real good actress, man. And she was in John 3. Yeah, you never seen Swordfish?
Yeah, I've seen some of it. Yeah, I haven't seen the whole thing. I have this bad habit of starting movies and just never finishing.
But she also played. You know what? Forget Catwoman. Forget Catwoman because, like I said, you just totally just rain on my parade there.
So here's the fact from the internet.
I know you didn't do it intentionally, but I'm gonna go to another superhero. How about Storm?
There you go.
Yeah. But really, female actress. Yeah, she was one of the first ones that popped up in my head.
So some information from the internet I pulled. This is Reddit, so take it with a grain of salt. So is some information from the internet. Halle Berry's stunt double in Catwoman was a man. Hawaiian-born Nito LaRosia was same height, skin color, and wore red lipstick and a cat suit for filming.
Oh my gosh,
So
man.
it's from Reddit. Take it with a grain of salt, and I could probably do some more research and find out. But it says a 20-year-old man. So sorry, sorry,
Oh,
sorry for
what
everybody
the
else who's
world?
hearing that. I'm so sorry. Okay, wow, she even said
For
it too.
those who like Catwoman and her in that cat suit, yeah, you just nauseated everybody.
Yeah, I'm sorry. All right, so moving on. We're gonna move on to my next pick. Again, sorry everyone who was upset about Catwoman. I'm truly sorry. My next pick actually is probably gonna be one of our both favorites, even though he may not be on your list right now. I know how you feel about one of his movies, so I have a feeling he's up there for you as well. Wesley Snipes.
Yep.
Wesley Snipes, to me, is such a good actor because, like, a lot of his movies, and it's so funny too because a couple of these actors share a lot of the same movies that we're probably going to talk about. So,
Yeah.
but Wesley Snipes was in Jungle Fever, of course, lead role. But one of the movies that made me realize he was one of my favorite actors was Blade. The Blade series, and
Yep.
I'm gonna include Blade 3, even though it was not the best. I'm gonna include
Yeah,
Blade 3.
it was a little. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm gonna include Blade 3 because of the way he acted in the movie. That dude, he really had me convinced like he was a daywalker.
For real.
He has me
Yeah.
on. I still to this day would love to cosplay as Blade. I have the glaive in my office. I have, I've got so many different I've got the Funko Pop. I've got like another little Blade figurine and stuff like that. But when I heard that they were switching up Blade, like it was a little shocking to me, and not because I wanted him to be Blade again, because he had already been Blade. But I'm just like, man, this is gonna be hard to top Wesley Snipes. So I'm anxious to see how Mahershala. I cannot believe I just chopped it up. I usually say that so good normally, and Mahershala Ali. I usually say that so good normally, and I just chopped it up just now. But anyway, um, I'm not saying I don't have faith in him. I have faith that he'll do all right. But like I said, to me, just the different emotions that Wesley Snipes has, I really like some of the things where like he does something like really wild and just does that smile at the end, in Blade.
Yep.
So he's standing in that circular room and he throws his glaive around and it like cuts everybody's head off and he just catches it in the air.
Yep.
That was so dope. Um, and there's just so many different things that about the Blade series that I love, especially like when like Blade 2 when he's like he meets the vampire squad that's supposed to be hunting the other vampires that can open up their mouths big and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When he meets them and he does that thing where he's like moving his little
that
silver
little
snake
knife.
around or whatever.
Yeah, the silver
he's
snake.
like keep watching, he keeps slapping that dude in the face. It was so dope. And then he puts the bomb in the back of his head. I was like, yo, I mean, and we also got to give him his props for his martial arts abilities, because he's actually a very good martial artist, and that actually plays over to a lot of his other films. He was in The Art of War, and he played Passenger 57,
57.
57, yeah, Passenger 57. Demolition Man.
Which was a very funny. I mean,
Oh
man, him as what was it, Simon?
Yeah, Simon Phoenix.
Simon Phoenix, yeah. When I say that guy was funny.
Yeah.
That guy was funny, man.
He was so hilarious that it was ridiculous. It was, I mean, just some of the stuff, and he was scary too. He was funny and scary.
Yeah,
You know? he was a psycho. He was a true psycho, and just like when he got that gun, he didn't know what it did, and it just powered up, and he was like, oh, he was making all those noises and
Man,
stuff like
yeah,
that.
boy, I'm trying to tell you. Look, what he said? He said, oh, I love this gun.
Yes, that dude, he A1. I really enjoyed him, but I can't end this one without saying the one role that a lot of people loved him in is New Jack City, Nino Brown. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, and
yeah.
I don't know if this is true, but apparently Mahershala Ali is actually supposed to be doing a Netflix series. I think it was Netflix for New Jack City, and he's going to be playing Nino Brown. So that's ironic. He's playing Blade and Nino Brown. It's like, dude, come on.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. And for that, I'm just like, he was so iconic as Nino. I would have to actually see how Mahershala Ali does because that whole see, and it's so hard because I can't go into Nino Brown without cursing right now. So and we're trying to keep it as clean as possible, you know. But all the stuff that Nino has said, but the main thing is, am I my brother's keeper? I remember
Yeah.
when we saw it when we were young when we saw it, my brother and I, but we used to walk around saying that a lot, at times it was hilarious, am I my brother's keeper?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was another good one. So what's your next pick?
Okay. So, being that we just talked about him, I'm crossing him out. So my next pick is Lawrence Fishburne.
Yes, and I purposely left him off my list because I had a feeling you would pick him because of just different things he does. But go ahead and give me your thoughts.
He's just such a good actor, man, and he's so deep. First movie I saw, where he played such a role where it just kind of pulled me in, into his character was Deep Cover, where he's playing an undercover cop, and he's kind of like battling, the glory and glamour of being a big time drug dealer versus, trying to take down who he trying to take down. There's a lot of deep stuff, that he says in that movie. And, I ain't gonna go over what he says because it's a little controversial, but that's the first movie I recall seeing him in, and I was like, man, this dude's a good actor.
Yeah.
He was in that, and then it wasn't too many movies after that until I seen The Matrix.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, that's Lawrence Fishburne. Now, the one movie he had, I don't know if it was before Deep Cover or after, was Boys in the Hood. And he played Trey's dad.
Yes,
You know,
yeah, and it's so funny
he
because
played Trey's dad.
I believe they weren't too far in distance in age. I think he was just a couple years older than him, in real life. But
Mhm.
but they were able. The same thing with Angela Bassett. I think all of them are close in age, but
Mm.
they played that role. They really played that role and had you believing that they were just young parents who
Yeah.
had a kid when they were teenagers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
I definitely agree. He is really good now. So I'm gonna tell you the first movie that I remember seeing him in, as when I was a kid, and I probably saw all these other movies before that. But the first movie I remember seeing him in was actually School Days.
I
And
don't even know what that one is.
oh man, that's a Spike Lee joint, man, and it's so good.
Oh, got it.
At the end of it, he plays like like one of those some people call them Hotep brothers now,
Mhm.
but he plays a dude that is so grounded and and all about the black experience, and
Mm.
and he is so deep in that movie, and he had to me he had the most powerful line in the movie at the end of the movie, and it was only two words, and it was "wake up." And that I'm getting chills now talking about it because watching that scene, you watch the whole movie, and after everything that happens in that movie, and after he finds out what happens, and he just runs outside and starts ringing the bell, and it's just like, wake up, man. Oh man, that is such a chilling scene. So that's the first movie
Wow.
I remember seeing him in. That may not have been the first movie I remember him in. Like I might have saw him actually in as a child, but that's the
Mm.
first one that I remember that I was able to actually remember him as a an actor. And then of course all his other ones. What's Love Got to Do with It? Boys in the Hood, of course.
Yeah.
Higher Learning. Oh man, Higher Learning. So
Yeah. Higher
yeah,
Learning. Yep.
The
He was in
Matrix,
that.
Hoodlum.
Mm.
Yeah, Biker Boys. I love Biker Boys. That was such a good movie.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. No doubt.
So,
No doubt. I know in Boys in the Hood. Yeah. In Boys in the Hood. When he talked about one of the deepest parts of that movie is when he talked about gentrification and and what that meant to black neighborhoods, and he's talking to the old man, and the old man's like, well, it's not, it's these folks killing each other, and he's talking about, well, black folks don't bring the drugs up in here and all that other stuff, you
right.
know.
Yeah.
Why you see a liquor store on the corner, along with a gun store? You don't see that in Beverly Hills.
Right.
And when I say a lot, a lot of people watch that movie for the negativity, that right there caught my attention.
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
so it gets real deep.
Oh yeah,
Real
definitely.
deep.
And here's something else. So I just recently saw a video about that. That same neighborhood that he was actually talking about. Apparently, I don't know how real this is because this was on TikTok. Apparently, that same neighborhood he was in the movie talking about in the movie actually has been gentrified now.
Yeah, you see, yeah,
Yeah.
it wouldn't surprise me, but yeah, yeah, and and like I said, the Matrix, Morpheus. Morpheus was deep.
He was so deep. Yeah.
He was deep. you know,
And
he
that
was
other
deep.
Matrix, man, they could not recreate. He was so deep that they could not recreate that other Matrix. You felt him when he saw the very first
Yeah.
time he saw Neo and realized Neo was the one. You could that emotion that he held was so real.
Yeah, yeah. I remember in the first Matrix, he was like, Neo, I didn't say it would be easy. I just said it'd be the truth.
Yep.
you know,
Yeah.
it's crazy, man. The way he said it, and the way he broke it down, it was just, man, nobody else could have done that. I just think that role was just made for him.
Yeah, you gonna make me watch that again. That's funny. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump to my next pick. My next pick on the list is I'm gonna go ahead and say one of the ladies that I have on my list. And I'm naming her because of how funny she is, and she does a lot of background voice work too, and a lot of her background voice work is what really got me. Like, I'm like, I really like this actress. Started on SNL. It's Maya Rudolph. You know who that is?
No, Maya Rudolph.
All right.
Hold on, wait a minute. Is she British?
No. She's the one.
No, she's from America.
Yeah, she's American. Her mother it was Minnie Riperton. She's Minnie Riperton's daughter. And
Oh, okay. And yeah, I know Minnie Riperton. She's a singer. Am I right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, her dad. So she's from Florida, but she is one of the funniest actresses of our age right now. She's in so many different other movies, and looking at her list, I didn't even realize she was in some of these other ones, but one of the funniest movies that is not known, but it is known. It was one of the first movies that I saw her in, I should say, like, is Idiocracy. Have you heard of that movie?
I have heard it. I've never seen it.
You gotta watch that movie. The reason being is because our society is going towards that, what was saying in that movie, and how dumb people are, and it's crazy because, like, so this isn't just one of the. I mean, this is just one of the funniest things about the society in there. They said that when filming the movie, this is a little, little tidbit here. Filming the movie, they were like, "Hey, we need to find some kind of really stupid looking shoes for for people to wear in the future to be futuristic shoes. We just need to find something that really looks really stupid. So they went to with this one company, and they was like, "What happens if the company gets big? Then we're kind of making fun of these shoes here." And the person was like, "Yeah, this company will never get big." Do you know what shoes they were? They were Crocs, man.
Kanye.
Crocs.
Oh my gosh, Crocs. Oh, I have a deep down hatred for Crocs. I just don't like them, and I'm like, yo, I don't understand why they're so popular. They just look like you know how those I don't know if they're Irish or Sweden. You know those wooden shoes where they use to kind of like do the dance.
The clogs,
You know? Yeah, those like like I think they're like clogs. That's what they remind me of, man.
Yeah,
You know?
that's what they are. And it's funny because the Crocs, I understand they're comfortable, especially for like people in the medical field and different types of fields, where and I understand those. But to me, like the way some people wear it all the time, everywhere they
Yeah.
go, is just like give me my slides and I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, exactly.
I got a really nice, comfortable pair of Nike slides that I wear around, and I wear my Under Armour slides the most right now. So yeah, but going back to Idiocracy though, she played a prostitute in Idiocracy, and she was so funny, because like all these people, they were so stupid, and she was saying common sense stuff, and they were just like, oh my gosh, you're so genius. So and she ended up being the first lady. She that was hilarious, and just the way she was talking. But some of the other movies that she's been in, Grown Ups, she's hilarious in Grown Ups, man. She's a trip, and I think one of them she was pregnant. Yeah, the first one she was pregnant for. The second one she wasn't. But she does so many other voice work though too. She was in Big Hero 6. She was in one called The Nut Job. Turbo. I didn't see Turbo. A lot of these are Shrek the Third. They're like you would consider kids movies. But some of the characters she plays aren't kid movies. Aren't like like thought to be of kids type characters. So one of the things that really made her one of my favorite characters is the character she plays on Big Mouth. Have you ever seen that TV show?
Oh yes, I've seen every last season.
That show is hilarious, and
it's funny.
The hormone demon
funny,
that she
man.
plays, the hormone monster, she plays Connie.
Molly. Oh wait, she plays as the female hormone monster.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Connie.
Yeah, yep. Connie.
And she is hilarious as Connie, man. I'm most of the time cracking up when she's on screen just because of the voice that she's making,
Yeah.
So that's why she's one of my favorite characters. Just actresses. And again, she does so much, and she was so funny. She does Beyonce on when she was on SNL, and just her and the other ladies on SNL of her time, they are also good. But Maya Rudolph is one of my favorite black actresses. So, what's your next pick?
My next pick is now I'm going all the way old school on him, but he was actually in one of Eddie Murphy's. I said Eddie movies. Eddie Murphy's. One of his movies that's well known to a lot of folks, and that is James Earl Jones.
Oh, okay,
yes. And James Earl Jones, first movie I saw, and he played as the villain, was Conan the Barbarian, and he played as Thulsa Doom, the snake guy. He led the snake cult in Conan the Barbarian. And he was the main one that he was responsible for killing Conan's whole family because at that time they were looking for steel, good swords and stuff like that. So it just the way he played that role as Thulsa Doom, and how he was able to, it just seemed like he was so powerful just based on what he was saying. There's one role, there's one part in that movie when they actually have Conan, he tried to infiltrate the cult and they caught him. But anyway, they beat the crap out of Conan, and and they bring him to James Earl Jones, and he says, "I will speak to you now." After they already beat the crap out of him, "I will speak to you now." And Conan's going on like, "You kill my family, you kill my people," and he's like, "Well, it must have been, back when I was younger, when I was actually looking for steel, and you understand what that is." And Conan says, "You talk about the riddle of steel." He said, "Yeah, you know what it is, boy, don't you? Should I tell you?" He says, "Steel in strong, boy, flesh is stronger." And he says, "Look at that girl up there." And there's this girl on the cliff. She was just sitting up there, and he pointed to her. And the moment he pointed to her, she kind of threw her hands out, like acknowledging that he was pointing to her. But he's like, "Just come to me, my child. Come to me." And she just literally just jumps off the cliff to her death.
Wow.
And he points to Conan and says, "That is power, boy. That's power. What good is steel compared to the hand that wields it?" And I'm like, that blew my mind, because he was trying to tell Conan that, yes, you're God, and steel, whatever, flesh is more powerful. And he just had that voice and that draw. And I was like, oh man, this guy is awesome. This guy's awesome.
Yeah, he's a very, very good dramatic actor. Yeah, he plays some very good dramatic roles. So.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but he does good in comedy. He played King Joffrey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so King Jafar.
Yeah. That's where I was going next.
Go ahead.
What he say? He's like, he found out his son's work. He's like, my son works.
Yeah. So he does such good dramatic roles that a lot of people, it's so hard for them to see him in something else other than dramatic.
Yep.
He does good voice work. Of course, Darth Vader. Number one. That's his what most people think of when they hear his voice. Is Darth Vader. So yeah, definitely.
Okay.
What?
You just dropped some knowledge on me, because I had no idea that was his voice.
Wait, you're joking, right? Please tell me you're joking.
No, I had no idea that was James Earl Jones, and in the Star Wars from back in the day.
Yeah.
The first thing.
Oh my god!
You gotta be kidding me!
I cannot believe you didn't know that.
He voiced Darth Vader?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man! How did I not know that?
Yeah, he's been voicing Darth Vader since the first one. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes, he's been voicing it. So originally he was uncredited, and then he was credited in the reissues. But yeah, he was voicing Darth Vader from back in the day, man. Like, wow.
The moment you said that, Vader's voice popped in my head, and it sounds just like James Earl Jones, man. I said, I could not believe. How did I not catch on to that? I would have never guessed.
Yeah, you're a rebel spy. Yes. Yeah, man. So, and of course Mufasa. He did Mufasa from the Lion King. Yep. So, man, that's I cannot believe you didn't know that. Wow.
I had no idea. But it makes sense now.
Yeah. So they actually had him and coming in later on in other Darth Vader roles. So he's still doing Darth Vader's voice. But I don't know how much longer they're planning on using his voice. They'll probably have somebody else come up soon. But yeah, he's been in so many things. His acting credits, are just massive. He's been going since 1964. So yes, that's one of the greatest, one of the truly greatest. So. All right. So I'm gonna go with my next pick. One of my next pick is Sterling K. Brown. I chose Sterling K. Brown because of the emotion that he has on screen. When you see his face and the way he looks, you feel that emotion he's feeling. He played Randall on This Is Us, and that's where a lot of people know him. I think that was the first time I actually noticed him playing Randall. I've seen him in other things like over the years because he's been acting since he's been acting since '02. It looks like probably before that, but his credits started at '02. And I remember him as Randall first, and then I started seeing him in all these other things that were older than that, and I was like, oh snap, he's actually really good, But the emotion that he felt when Randall had a panic attack, when Randall was angry but he couldn't express his anger. He shows it in his face. He has those feelings. The interactions between him and the woman who played his wife, the actress that played his wife on that show, you know, that you actually you felt it like they were a real couple, and that's forget all that Will and Jada love thing and stuff like that, and all those
Yeah.
other people. No, I want a Randall type love with his wife. I cannot believe I'm blanking on her name right now, but those two, those are goals. The way they are and the way they interacted. They were actually a really good and you know it was messed up because for the longest time they put this fear on that show that those two actually split up, and I was like really getting angry because of how they actually looked like they portrayed him. And I was like, man, I was getting mad, but I ended up seeing another show that he was on that he was really good, Supernatural. He only did 4 episodes of Supernatural, but he was so good in it because he played a hunter that like that was going straight after vampires. But for him, there was no middle ground. It was all vampires are bad, and they were trying to change his mind. Well, then he ended up finding out something else, and he started hunting after the brothers on that show, and he was so good at that. So, you know, um, I definitely will watch more of different things that he's on. He was even on Big Mouth. Wow, that's funny. So,
As who?
it says Michelangelo. He played a recurring role of Michelangelo. I don't know which one is Michelangelo on that, which is funny though. So
Michelangelo.
yeah, I'm gonna have to look and see which character that
Yeah.
was. I mean, I always go back and watch Big Mouth anyway though. But
Yeah.
he was even on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So funny. So um, so yeah, Sterling K. Brown has been in a lot. He's been in a lot of stuff. He actually played Christopher Darden in the OJ People versus OJ on television. And he was in so many good TV shows and films. Excuse me, I'm sorry. But there's like one of his films I've been trying to see and I just haven't was what is the name of that one? It was something like oh, Honk for Jesus Save Your Soul. That was the one. That was he was actually that's not the one I wanted to see. It was Hotel Artemis is the one I want to see. I haven't seen yet. But he Honk for Jesus Save Your Soul is a comedy that he was in with Regina Hall. So I think it was Regina Hall. So I got to see that one too. Because like I said, he actually plays um, good comedic act. Like parts as well too. So I forgot there was another comedic part that I saw him in. I just can't remember. It's not coming on the top of my head though. So but what I want to do here is we're gonna cut it off here for right now. Oh wait, before we cut it off, I can't believe I didn't even say this about Sterling K. Brown. He played a role in Black Panther that was so good. It was so small, so very small, but so good. Playing um King I can't even say T'Chaka.
T'Challa. Yeah.
T'Chaka. He played King T'Chaka. T'Chaka.
T'Challa. T'Challa.
I am not having a stroke. I'm just saying, no, not T'Challa. T'Chaka. King T'Chaka's brother.
Oh, King T'Chaka's. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. He played King T'Chaka's brother. And he played that so good. Like he went from the hood accent into the Wakandan accent so seamlessly and so good. I love that. It was such a small role. And then when he played into the astral planes when he was talking to Killmonger, that was so good. very, very good. Yeah, and that was actually one of my favorite parts of the movie because of course, the actor, because I like the actor, but just seeing like the roles and the interaction, I love that. So, but anyway, like I was gonna say, we're gonna cut it off here for part one, and please come back to part two. We're gonna finish up and with our final actors and actresses for this episode, and we got a couple other things to talk about at the end of the next episode. So come on back. And if you got any questions, anything, any suggestions, you can always reach us at Instagram. Our Instagram handle is at Told My Wife Podcast. You can email us toldmywife toldmywife at gmail.com. I can't believe I'm getting that wrong. Toldmywife podcast at gmail.com. There we go. Yeah. So you can reach us on that email, toldmywifepodcast at gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook. I Told My Wife I'm Paying Bills. And reach out to us. Let us know what you think. Any suggestions? Any actually suggestions of podcasts that you want to hear from us. Come on, let us know. We're easy. And we do have a couple things coming up, but we would love to hear what you think. So reach out. Um, but until the next one, I'm Slim.
I'm Black.
And we will catch up with y'all. Everyone, have a good Black History Month. And, thanks for listening.